Welcome to today's daily recap. Well, it's a recap of 22nd October to 23rd. Didn't film it yesterday, but nevertheless, I still was updating analysis as we were throughout the days of the week. A lot to go over: GA, GC, GJ, EJ, EG, and we'll talk a little bit about gold too. So what we saw was price broke out of this intraday area, this daily resistant, right, from the analysis. And if we respect the market structure, we would head up here, right? So analyze that we possible market structure we're keeping an eye out on is this higher time frame market structure, this one, and then there's these other ones. Okay, so what did happen was price failed to remain above this, so it broke down on 22nd on Wednesday. Price started coming down. Once it broke past this level, knew that the next level it was going to go to was first of all this, and then second this area right here, which both of them it did reach. So let's check that out. This was London session on Wednesday, price coming down, right? Unable to stay up. Also, it kept pushing up, right? So once it broke down, we knew that it was going to come down to a higher time frame level and then see how it reacts here. But even here, price failed to make a higher low. We would need a higher low to continue up here, but that's not what happened. Instead, price broke below. Right? Once it broke below, we got several retests of the level, and then we moved down to the next level, right? This was around 60 pips, not even 60, sorry. This was around 40 pips, but price did move flawlessly, retested after breaking and continued down to this 4-hour market structure that we can see. At these candles over here. And then once we broke that first one, we continued on to here. And then this is our next higher time frame daily level. You can see like this daily resistance area, right? Market structure. So I do expect daily to come up here. If let's say price does create a higher low next week, then it can continue up. Otherwise, it may do something like this, continue down, create a higher low, break through this, and then, right? But as you can see, lower time frames, nevertheless, when price was going down, it never shifted structure. So there wasn't really buy opportunities. For buys to come, we would have to respect market structure and start doing this, and then we'd get that push up, right? But this entire 2 days, market just been creating lower highs and retesting market structure, right? Retest here, price activity here, over here. So keep that in mind when you're looking to see if price is going to change direction. But yeah, it just broke these levels, retested, continued to the next one, and then now it's on its way down to this demand level, which is a daily market structure as well, like we talked about. Okay. When after the pound pushed up this week, I sent this. Either we're going to come back down here, retest market structure, possible buys, or down here, which is a previous broken higher time frame structure, possible buys. Since this was a large move, it was a 300 pip move. We knew we were going to get some sort of strong retracement, and I said then the Telegram too. So this area would have been more likely to scalp buys or whatever, or set up for the higher low than this area would, right? Because we need a large retracement after such a large 350 pip move. What ended up happening was this level did not reject at all. So instead, price broke it. Then we got a retest and then continued down straight to this level, which was our next market structure. And as you can see, when we initially tapped into it, price rejected and did go up around 80 pips. So we'll dissect that. So we knew that we were going to get some sort of reaction here because this is a broken market structure area. And then when we do retest it, it's going to be, price is going to reject it initially. So what happened was price came down, right? Price has been continuing down, came down to this level, retested, created a higher low, could have entered here because it's a key level, key market structure, and then created another higher low, and then price pushed up all the way. Up here, which was kind of like the top of this area, right? As you can see, and then that was at the tip. Although price didn't continue up, this large liquidity wick should have been like, okay, it's time to exit the market, right? It's like we're most likely not going to continue up after we've just created a wick like this, and like we're at market structure right now, right? So take out your profits there after the buys here, and then price does what it wants, does what it needs to, and then continues down. That was that. Although we didn't go fully up there, you still would have been able to get a nice amount of buys if you just waited for this structure to be hit. Since this structure rejected, since price just broke through that structure, right? We didn't get a shift in market structure. For a shift, price would have to do this, right? And that's what we saw here. We saw market structure shift to higher lows, and when after for the day and a half, we were making lower highs and lower lows, right? If we go into the 1 minute, it's even more clear. Like, you just got to know what you're looking for, man. You don't have to trade reversal so aggressively, but look, low, higher low, maintaining above this, higher low, 1 minute accumulation, broke out, retest, another high low, and then boom, popped up, right? So let's say most ideal entry would have been here. So like this higher low and this higher low, because we know we're at a higher time frame broken market structure. Now we're retesting it, so it's possible we see a reversal. So let's say you went long even here, because if you know what you're looking for, you can easily do that. And then you exit at market structure 70 pips, and your stop loss is below here 11 pips. See? Anyways, moving on to GJ. Let me just pull up my GJ analysis from last night that I sent. 1 second. So GJ was interesting. GJ failed to go up to 137.8, so he actually created a resistance, right? And price. So 1 second. So let's discuss higher time frames. Okay, so price was below this resistance, rejected it, right? Several 4-hour, unable to push up to 137.8. So once we rejected it, we were at this level right here, right? This market structure zone here. So, and then price started breaking low, and then we saw lower highs being made. So structure was shifting, right? When I was doing this, now we're shifting. Lower highs being made in this area around 137.2, as you can see. Had the high, had a lower high, or call it double bottom, and then another lower high push down, right? So we saw the push down. This happened on Wednesday. Price went up to 137.500 level and then pushed down straight to 137.2, which was broken market structure, this area right here, after price broke above it. So I was in, these are buys that I scalped, but I got stopped out at break even on, did not take a loss. So price pushed down to 137.15, but when I saw this 1 minute consolidation, I entered a buy at 137.2, and then another position at 137.4 at this higher low. Price went up around first position 20 pips, second position 15 pips, and then kept projecting. This position got stopped at a break even over here, did not re-enter, and then when price broke down, I got stopped at a break even on the 137.2 position. Didn't get the rejection I'm hoping for, but don't always work. But you see how I was able to quickly move to break even with those entries because they're so precise and they happen as market was showing signs of reversal. Although the reversal didn't happen, it was still that execution was still executed because it's the parameters that I look for. Okay, so then market the next day consolidated for a while, and then during Asian it pushed down. It made resistance, minor resistance on 137.2. Pushed down, and then what happened here was this was the next level, higher time frame level, right? And we check on 4-hour. I'll see exactly why. So when you check on 4-hour, you see these wicks here, right? You see these wicks here, so you know, okay, price is likely to reach this area because it is a solid market structure from earlier, right? So what happened was price was in pre-London struggling here. Okay, so it was, I felt like there wasn't enough sellers in the market to continue price down another like 20 pips, right? 25 pips. So what happened was price during right before London Open started consolidating, right? You can see seller exhaustion here, right? And then you can also see seller exhaustion here. We created a low, went down, pushed a bit lower, couldn't close above here. And that's a lot of 5-minute candles showing you rejection. And when we look at the 1 minute price action, you can check that there was actually 1 minute price action was freaking perfect. So this is what I sent. Retest, you can see my name, 3 a.m., 3:01 a.m. Okay. So after at London Open, I said that if we push above 136.800 minor structure, it's likely price is going to go up for liquidity before we see sells down, right? So you got to know this in the moment. As you can see, we saw sellers exhausting, price creating these bottoming out, creating these higher lows. When London Open came down, it failed to push past this area, right? As you can see, structure, 1 minute structure. You got to learn how to read this. And then we also had this structure here, right? So once price pushed above it, we got a retest of it. Retest of 136.800 pushed up, and then eventually pushed up almost 40 pips off of this area, okay? So Well, it did push up more than 40 pips, as you can see. Like, but if you took an entry, let's say up here, could have taken profit here, and then if you got stopped out, that's okay. But let's say you didn't move your stop loss to break even, that entry would have only gone a couple of pips in drawdown later on, right here during pre-New York. And then when price finally reached up, look where it reached up. It reached up to our 4-hour market structure level over here. And then it retested and continued down to our 4-hour demand. So this was just a move to grab more sellers in the market, premium sell price, right? And you can see that sells should have been only taken at the shift of market structure. So a large push up, pushed up into resistance, huge wicks indicating probably liquidity, all buyers liquidating their positions. And then as you can see, rejected, lower high, breakdown, retest, lower high, retest 137.200. These are aggressive entries. This is the most optimal entry. And then you could have rode your sells down. But we had it analyzed that it would push up and it would push up to the higher time frame structure, which was this, which is the best buy area for buys, right? Sorry, sells. So 64 pips down, right? On the higher low, and then stop loss 13 pips above these wicks. So that's GJ. I also analyzed EJ on Wednesday. Sorry, yeah, EJ, Euro JPY on Wednesday, and I said that we had the structure here, but we could end up back at this level right here, okay? And we'll go over that. I sent this in the Telegram group. Some people did send me their messages, and they showed me the profit that they made off EJ, which is amazing for you guys. That's amazing. So what happened was we rejected daily resistance, and then price created a lower high here at 134.800, so key level, right? A psychological level, pushed down to this market structure over here, area of a lot of price activity, consolidated, push down, right? Initial push down, but then you can see in lower time frames, it showed us that there was not enough selling pressure in the market to continue. Okay, so this happened on Wednesday. Push down, okay, push down was like only 23 pips, okay, but and then price pushed up, grab liquidity, consolidated, right? It starts accumulating right here. It starts accumulating, right? I'm just gonna draw that, and then once, but it still remained below this consolidation top, right? Top of this consolidation. Still remain below that. Retested several times. First retest, lower high in Asian, and then price pushed straight down to our high time frame level, which was right there, 133.4. 133.4 was hit. Okay, how do we know price is going to go down there? Because you can see there's active market structure on 4-hour, right? Right there, here, here. When price ranged here, once it broke up, it retested, so it's a solid zone for continuing up. So we would be looking, there's liquidity at this area, okay? And then once price came, it tapped into a strong daily 4-hour demand, consolidated. Once it broke out this accumulation, pushed up to which level? First this. Once this level broke, price retested, and then it's going to get Friday, low volume, probably not going to keep pushing up, right? But you understand that it played out nicely. I sent this on Euro GBP, and we'll go over this. This is a very good setup. So what happened was price pushed down after rejecting, after pound pushed up, it corrected all, sorry, after pound gained strength, Euro GBP pushed down to support, okay? And daily was very strong bearish. So what would happen? What would need to happen is that we would need to break out of this consolidation towards the downside before sells would have been possible. Downside, retest, and then sell. Otherwise, if price broke out this accumulation to the upside, that would mean that this daily zone had been respected, right? So let's see how that played out. So when we're looking at levels, I cleaned up my chart a bit, but I can redraw the levels, and I'll just remove that. But stick level there, right? You see that area, okay? Nice market structure over here as well. Bottom market structure right there, candle bodies. Okay, and then otherwise you got some this up here and then right there as well. Okay. So as you can see, daily on Tuesday close was very bearish. So, but to push down, we would have to, and then you see how price started accumulating. Where did that accumulate? Accumulated right after tapping into this area, right? Price tapped in, and then we saw higher lows being made. But we also saw that price was in a lower, it was accumulating in the lower time frames, as you can see, right? You can see in 1 hour, and then even 15-minute price is just ranging. But the key reminder is that it's ranging above daily support. So we knew If this accumulation broke towards the upside, we're going to get a retest and we're going to see buys. So I had this analyzed how we reached this area first, because that is an area of interest, right? It's a minor level. And that is due to these wicks here, this candle activity. And as you can see, when we got there, that was a good area to take profit. But price broke out today during London Open, came down for a retest, perfect entries, continue on. And we'll look at lower time frame price action in that. So even as you can see, when lower time frame was breaking up, it got a retest. It's been continuing up since Asian, right? So it got a retest, continued up, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then price starts getting a bit choppy. But then we do see the reason why was because we needed more liquidity in the market. And then once we got a proper retest of that, it continued up to the level, right? And that's and then it broke past the level, but that was just a good area to take partial positions, right? And then so I'm just gonna remove this 1 second. But the next higher time frame level is indeed up here, right? So you see why we took this was a very good trade and why it played out perfectly, because we're accumulating before above a daily level. So if we break up how we did here, price is going to continue up, right? So it's not hard, and it's just the consolidation. You should have waited for that. And then let's say you took your entries on the retest that happened in New York Open. So you knew that during New York session opens, we get liquidity grabs, right? Before, after, during. So just should have been mindful that if you saw that 1 minute consolidation, that it was maybe time to get out, because New York Open may pull down for liquidity, right? Man, they're 15 pips, 60 pip take profit, 50 pip take profit, 1 to 4. Right? And all of these have been called out in the free Telegram. I even broke down gold's move, daily high from October 9th, rejected resistance, price created a higher low at demand, dropped down to the next 4-hour demand level. Okay, and then I broke it down even further, how 1 minute, 30 minute was accumulating, intraday price accumulation, broke out, retest, rejected daily high and resistance, got a lower high to confirm its drop, and it pushed down straight back to the next daily demand level. And this was given on the Telegram, breaking it all down. I know a lot of people found this helpful. Some of you messaged me. I love reading it. I just like providing value where I can. But here we saw price structure shifting. So once we got that drop, this is actually a good area because for sales, because as soon as we saw it tap it, it rejected it. Like the structure fully shifted in lower time frames. And once we got this lower high, it was confirmation that we were going to go down to here. But thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Everything gets posted in here. Just send, sometimes I'm reading a book and I send it. Gold breakdown and discuss the proper best trades as well. Right, this is all free. Like I just try providing value where I can. EG analysis was sent, right? EG as well. Yeah, just like little updates on what could possibly be happening. GJ updates, the USD CAD where we saw the short-term buys from here, but there are still 70 pips. Daily structure. So everything gets sent here. 214 subscribers. Thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.